Welcome to On-Demand Instructions video on preparing for a speech. In this session, we will cover Speaking and Listening Performance Indicator number 4. The Common Core state standard for this session is to present information, findings, and supporting evidence clearly, concisely, and logically in a way that listeners can follow the line of reasoning and the organization, development, substance, and style are appropriate to purpose, audience, and task. At the end of this session, you will be able to identify different kinds of speech, its purpose, and audience, gather information for your speech, prepare an outline for your speech, prepare note cards to use in your speech. Let's start by answering these questions. What are speeches? Why do we give a speech? What is the purpose of a speech? What do we do in public speaking? Preparing a speech that you will give before an audience requires more preparation than an informal talk, a group discussion, or a meeting. Generally, the more time you invest in preparing and practicing your speech, the better your speech will be received by your audience. There are different kinds of speeches. Choosing the kind of speech you will give involves considering both the purpose of the speech and your audience. Depending on your purpose, choose one of the following speech types. Expository, given to explain an idea, process, or object. Persuasive, given to try to get the audience to agree with the speaker's position or take some action. Entertaining, given to offer the listeners something to enjoy. Let's do an activity in identifying the purpose and audience. Label each of the following topics with the kind of speech. Identify who might be the audience for each kind of speech. The importance of voting. The causes of air pollution. The history of basketball. The evidence of famine is increasing worldwide. How to play the piano. Once you know what kind of speech you will give and have chosen an appropriate topic, you are ready to begin the process. Follow a series of steps to plan, prepare, practice, and deliver your speech. To give a successful speech, use the following suggested steps. First, gather information. Do this by researching the subject, using the library or other resources, especially if the speech is expository or persuasive. Conduct interviews with authorities on the subject. After you have gathered the information you need, you should write an outline that presents information in a logical manner. Begin with any necessary background material. Arrange information in a logical sequence. Include major points and supporting details. After you've made an outline, you should prepare note cards that you can use when you deliver your speech. Use only a few small index cards. Print neatly all of the information in the order used in the outline. Copy quotations or facts that you want to remember exactly. Write out beginning and ending statements if helpful. Rely mainly on keywords and short phrases to jog your memory. Letter and indent all the details under the ideas they support. Use underlining and capital letters to make important information stand out. Why is this important? To present information, findings, and supporting evidence clearly, concisely, and logically. For listeners to follow the line of reasoning and the organization, development, substance, and style. To give a speech that is appropriate for purpose, audience, and task. We may give speeches to highlight a platform, to give reasons for candidacy, to give formal information, to entertain people or an audience. Let's check your understanding by doing an activity on preparing a speech. Prepare a 4-minute speech on the following topics. Research and prepare an outline of your speech. Then write note cards to use when you deliver your speech. Your favorite literary character. The advantages of a personal computer for schoolwork. Strategies on planning for a charitable function. how are we to know what kind of speech to give? You need to identify and consider your purpose and your audience, so that from there you can decide on what kind of speech to give. For example, you are to give a speech that will make your audience enjoy and learn at the same time. You must give an entertaining speech, therefore. Why do we need to prepare? You need to prepare in order to get away from the common fear of being able to forget what you are going to talk about and the parts that you have present in your speech. Is it important to consider your purpose and audience? Of course, it will give you a clear understanding of what you will gather, write, prepare, and practice. It will also make your speech interesting for your audience because you actually know your purpose and what it is you are actually talking about. As a student, you're expected to present information, findings, and supporting evidence clearly, concisely, and logically such that listeners can follow the line of reasoning and the organization, development, substance, and style are appropriate to purpose, audience, and task. We have come to the end of our session. We have discussed different kinds of speech, preparing for a speech, gathering information, preparing an outline, and preparing note cards. To get more information, you may check out these resources. And return to www.ondemandinstruction.com for more instructional videos, podcasts, and materials. We update the site weekly.